Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Glory Oluchi, so glad to see you on Instagram. All right, my friends, so glad to see you on Instagram. Hey. Thank you for joining the show this morning. All right, Sofa Express Engineering, so glad that you're with us on Instagram this morning. Tell your friends, tell your people. We're about to get started with the movement in just about 30 seconds. Oh, yes. It's just about time for the Monday Mindset Movement. So glad you're joining us this morning. Come on, keep coming on in the room. Keep coming. All right, here we go. It is Monday morning and we are here. Welcome to the Monday Mindset Movement. Do me a favor. If you are in the space, let's start with our Monday morning affirmation. And it says, today is my best day. Come on. Today I will win. Today I fully embrace my God-given talents and I courageously step on my fears. Today I operate without hesitation and today I make an impact. Let's go. Quick story. Some years ago, I launched an online group and the whole premise was one of commitment, and honestly, it pushed me to think about the word commitment differently. Right? There were some things that I had been flaky about, and I had to admit to myself that I wasn't really committed. So we're going to talk about this stuff. We're going to talk about that this morning. My question to you is, are you committed or are you just interested? Do you have a goal? Do you have a goal or are you committed to a goal? Let's be super transparent. We're going to be honest today and talk about that stuff. What does commitment look like versus interest? While we're asking that question, before we get started, I want to ask you this question. I want you to put your answer in the comments. What are you committed to? What are you committed to? Just go ahead and type that in the chat for us this morning. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Robert Kennedy III. RK3 is what the cool people call me. The Monday Mindset Movement, 15 to 30 minutes of motivation, elevation, and inspiration designed to get you thinking, blinking, rocking and rolling through your week. Thank y'all for showing up on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the places. Not Twitter, X. Hey, D. Bowden, good to see you this morning. Kimmy Couture, good to see you this morning. All right, MC Ancient Fashion, good to see you this morning. All right, so listen, if you want to get down with the Monday Mindset Movement, do me a favor, text LIVE, L-I-V-E, to 240-557-8679, 240-557-8679, and I'll let you know when we are live. All right, so let me do some air horn greetings this morning really quickly. Let's see who's in the place. Tyran Jackson, what's up, sir? Good to see you this morning. D. Bowden, good to see you this morning. All right, MC Ancient Fashion, good to see you this morning. Bam. Oh, yeah. Kimmy Couture, good to see you. Gloria Oluchi, good to see you this morning. Oh, yeah. All the people this morning, so glad that you're here. All right, listen, y'all. It's time to get started with the movement. Y'all ready? Here we go. Come on.
It's time to get motivated, elevated, and accelerated. It's your time to jump out of your comfort zone and reach higher. It's time to get up and go. Grab your cup of grit and your daily dose of resilience. It's time for the Monday Mindset Movement with your host, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. It's time.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Monday Mindset Movement. I'm your buddy, your friend, your host, Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me. Do me a favor. If you want to know when we're going live, text live to 240-557-8679. Text LIVE to 240-557-8679. Hey, before we move in this morning, I want to share something with you. If you are a real estate agent, small business owner, I would love to invite you to a session that we're going to be having on July 16th called Small Talk, Stories, and Sales, the secrets of confident communication and connection with your clients. All right. So do me a favor. If you are on Instagram and you don't see a link, or I can't give you a link this morning, just register for this session by clicking that QR code or grabbing that QR code, or you can just go to learnwithrk3.com/3S webinar. All right. learnwithrk3.com/3S webinar. So glad that you all are here this morning. Chris Gloss, good to see you this morning. Grand rising to you, champion. All right, glad that you're here this morning. Yeah, so let's do this thing. Let's jump on into the Monday Mindset Movement. There's what's the session about? Okay, cool. Let me tell you. Let me go back for just a second. Somebody's asking what the session is about. So the session is I'm going to show you how to truly connect from that networking event to the paper signing. It's going to be inspirational. It's going to be value packed. We're going to be walking through how you exit or how you navigate the awkward moments and using storytelling as a baseline for that. So let's jump on in. So do me a favor. Type in the comments. What are you committed to? What are you committed to? Tell me what you're committed to. Hey, Treese 0517, Gaboof, good to see you this morning. What are you committed to? Several years ago, I had a group that I started called 28 Days to a New Me. And the premise of the group was one of commitment. The whole idea was that we were going to ask people to commit to something for 28 days. The idea was that if you can do something that many days in a row, it becomes a habit of some sort. And when something becomes a habit, it's much easier to execute. It's much easier to implement. You don't have to think about it as much. It's not as much of a struggle. Now, good premise, good idea. But there's something that struck me the other day that I had not even considered as I think about that exercise. And that was the idea of commitment and the depth of commitment. So my question to you again is, what are you committed to? What are you committed to? All right, I see somebody here, Mark Chambers, is saying, I am committed to being a distribution agent of God's love. Ooh, okay. All right. What are you committed to? Just go ahead and type in the chat for me, and I'll pop those in periodically. What are you committed to? And we're going to talk about that this morning. So in this 28 days group, some people committed to exercise. Some people committed to relationships. Some people committed to reading every day. Some people committed to drinking different things. We had somebody commit to not drinking something. Somebody said that they were not going to drink milk during this time, right? So it was a phenomenal time. But one of the things that happened for me was I committed to exercising, but I also committed, and I didn't share this with the group at the time, I also committed to creating a video daily to inspire the group. Right? I committed to creating a video each day. And this was back in 2011, 2012, somewhere thereabouts. And so, you know, I had a phone, but we also didn't have a lot of different, we also didn't have phones. The cameras on the phones were a little bit different. And so sometimes you needed a separate device, a flip video or whatever, to make sure that you could get videos done. So the challenge for me, though, was I had not created the videos beforehand. And so it was a challenge. It was a challenge to create a video each day. So there were three things that happened for me. Number one, I had to think of something to say each day on these videos. That's number one. The second challenge for me was that I had to find time to then film these videos. The third challenge for me was that I had to get out of my own way. Right? Introvert Robert really had to put on a coat, really had to put on just energy in order to get out and to film and to talk in front of a camera and talk in front of people. I had to get out of my own way. And it was hard. It was hard. It was a challenge for me. Now, there was a book that I had read that year. One of my business coaches, my first business coach, shared with me this book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of the agreements is to honor your word. If you say something, if it comes out of your mouth, then you ought to honor that thing. And I said out of my mouth that I was going to inspire these people with a video every day. So I had to honor my commitment. I had to honor my agreement. Right? The word came out, it contacted the outside of me, and they came and it had to come into agreement. I had to honor my commitment. So what would happen is that sometimes I would get up in the morning and I'd be able to film a video. Sometimes I knew that I had to take the kids to school the next day and I was not going to be able to film a video in the morning. So I had to figure out how to film a video while I was running around. So sometimes it was hilarious. There were times I'd be in the supermarket parking lot and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna have time to film this. So I would literally get out my car and set up a camera on the hood of my vehicle and film a video. And I'm looking at people driving by, looking at me, and I'm going crazy here. I'm trying to be motivational, energetic in a parking lot, speaking loud, no microphone, making sure that the camera picked it up because I had committed to making sure that I had a video every single day. Now, why was that even important to me? Why was that even important to me? Well, it was important for several reasons. Number one, I was in a place where I was looking for my own personal transformation. And as I was looking for my own personal transformation and I took others on this journey with me, I wasn't going to fall in front of these people. So it was important for me to be committed. Now, here's the thing that I want to ask each of us, each of you, each of we. As you think about goals in your life, as you think about the different areas of your life, where are you committed and where are you just interested? So if you think about your relationships, your job, your health, your wellness, your wealthness, your finance, your family, where are you committed and where are you just interested? Right? I'm going to go back to the comments here for just a second. I see some people putting in their commitments. D. Bowden says, I'm committed to exercise at least 3 days a week for 30 minutes. I love that. That's smart, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. I like it. Okay. Divine Discipline says, I'm committed to my purpose, helping God's daughters identify their purpose, then develop the renewed mind to operate in it boldly. I love that. Okay. Let's see. I love what Amy Looper is saying here. I love the conversation. Committed action builds confidence. I like it. Thank you, Amy, for sharing that. So let's jump back into the conversation here. What are you committed to? Where are you committed? And here's what I've discovered about a lot of people. When you are not committed, it becomes easier for you to give an excuse. I want you to think about this. When you're not committed to a goal, it's easy for you to say, oh my gosh, I didn't make it happen today. Let me do it tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's Thursday. Oh, well, I cheated on this food goal. Let me just eat everything that I can, and then I'll get back to this on Sunday. When you're not committed, it becomes much easier to give an excuse. Let's get deeper. Some people are going to say, ouch, on this one. Let's think about relationships. When you're not committed, it becomes much easier to give an excuse. I'm going to go in for just a second. I've seen relationships that break apart. I've seen relationships that get to a place of divorce. And when I find out what the reason for the divorce was, I recognize that it was not a relationship of commitment. It was a relationship of interest. See, commitment is much deeper than interest. If you're willing to jump away really quickly, if you're willing to jump away because of something easy, something simple, then you have a relationship of interest and not a relationship of commitment. Now, yes, there are different levels of this. Yes, there is abuse. There's some stuff that you should not stay in. I want to make that clear. But if a relationship is breaking apart because a husband doesn't like the smell of his wife's feet, right? You're in a relationship of interest and not a relationship of commitment. Part of the reason that our divorce statistics are so high is because many people are in relationships of interest and not commitment. Part of the reasons that people leave jobs or don't perform at a certain level at their jobs or at their business is because they are in a job or a business or a relationship of interest and not commitment. Part of the reason that we have so many health challenges, we can't stick to our health goals, we don't follow through on certain things, is because we are in a relationship of interest and not of commitment yet. Now, you might get mad at me for saying that. You might get mad at me. Of course I'm committed, Robert. We're not committed yet. We're just interested. And I'm talking to myself as well. I'm talking to myself as well. This is not a situation where I'm yelling or pointing. This is not a motivational guru pointing at you. I'm talking to myself as well. If I look back in my life and I look back at the times where I've completed, if I look back at the times where I've won, if I look back at the times where I've pushed through some stuff in order to make it to the finish line, it's because I was committed and not just interested. The times where I've said, yes, I want to do this, and then I stop partway through, or I push off, or I rationalize, it's because I'm just interested and not committed. I want you to look back. I want you to think about your stuff. Hey, Jeffrey Laird, good to see you this morning. Rabinia Roberts, good to see you on Instagram this morning. I want you to look back at your life. I want you to look back at your relationships. I want you to look back at your exercise or your health or your diet routines. Think about the things that you have committed to and think about the things that you have just said, oh yeah, okay, and you dropped off. When you're committed, and I'm going to go into some levels in just a moment here. When you are committed, you don't make excuses. When you're interested, it's much easier to rationalize. I want to walk through a couple of things here. I asked you the question earlier, what are you committed to? I then asked you the question, where are you committed? And here's the third question I want to ask you. How committed are you? You see, there's a few levels of commitment. Number one level of commitment is repetitive action. You see, I can be committed to something. I can be committed to going to work. I can repeat it. Yep, I get on the bus every morning and I do it because I'm committed to making money. I do it because I want to pay my bills. I do it because I want to eat. I do it because I want to pay. I want to be cool. I want my air condition to be on. I want electricity. I want my internet. Okay, I'm committed to. That's level one commitment, and a lot of us, most of us, can do that. That's level one commitment. I know that I'm committed because listen, I've got a reason to do it, and I'm gonna keep doing it because I've got a reason to do it. That's level one. But there's a level two commitment. All right. There's a level two commitment. Level one is I can do it and I will keep doing it. Level two is growth action. I'm doing it and I'm intentionally stretching every time. I want you to think about this. I want you to imagine going to the gym or being in a weight training program. When you're in that program, do you lift the same 10 pounds every time? Okay. If I'm in a weight training program, I could lift the same 10 pounds every time. I'm committed to weight training. I'm committed to exercise, but I'm doing the same thing over and over. I had a friend that would go to the gym and they would run 2 miles every day on the treadmill, and then they would leave. 2 miles every day on the treadmill, and then they would leave. Yes, they were committed. They were at the gym every day. They were committed to that. They had level one commitment, but they were not at level two yet. They weren't stretching. They weren't pushing. So if you want to get to level two commitment is saying, okay, yep, I'm going to add 1 pound tomorrow. I'm going to add another pound the next day. I'm going to add another pound the third day. My son was on this program where he decided that he was going to do push-ups, and every day he was going to add 1 push-up when he got in. So one day he's at 15, the next day he's at 16. His goal was to get to 40 by the end of the month. So, okay, yep, every day I'm going to add 1 push-up. That's commitment with growth actions. That's level 2. Level 3 is desperate action, right? Level 3 is desperate action. And what's desperate action? Desperate action is I'm doing it, I'm stretching from it, and I'm fighting for it. Stuff's going to get in the way, and I'm going to say, I need to get at this. I need to get it. I need to do it. You see, when I was doing this 28 days thing and I was filming these videos, I was desperate to make sure that the videos got filmed. And so when things got in my way, I figured out how to get after it and how to do it. I figured out what to push out of the way so that I could make time for this. And sometimes it wasn't about pushing things out of the way. Sometimes it was, it was always about pushing something out of the way because I only have a certain amount of time in the day. It might have been going to bed 15 minutes later so I could film this video, edit it, and get it uploaded. So level 3, desperate action. I'm doing it. I'm stretching. I'm growing. I'm adding something each day, and I'm fighting for it. Stuff is getting in the way. Something is trying to conspire against me to help me to get in the way of me doing that thing, but I'm fighting for it. That's level 3 commitment. On top of the exercise that I did, or on top of the videos that I filmed, a book came out of this level 3 commitment. I filmed videos and then I wrote a book based on all of the videos that we did. So a level 3 commitment is where you begin to see some results from your actions. It's where you begin to see the growth, is where you begin to see the payoff from your actions. Right? And that's why we can work and do things level 1. We can do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And we're not seeing massive results because that's just level 1. Level 3, when you've begun to grow and stretch, is where you begin to see the massive action, the results from that. Right? It's like working out and you look in the mirror after 1 day, you don't see it. You don't see any muscle growth. You look in the mirror after 2 weeks, you don't see the muscle growth. But things get in the way. Life happens and you have to find the time to exercise and continue to act on that idea that you have. And then a month later, 2 months later, 3 months, you see a little thing pop out. Bam, right? Because that's level 3. You've stretched and you fought for it. And there's still one more level that you got to get to. And that's what we call level 4 commitment. I'm gonna change my camera here just so that we can see this a little bit better. Well, level 4 commitment is when you have definite decision and devotion. Level 4 commitment is definite decision and devotion. What does that mean? It means all the other options are cut off. everything else is cut off. It's like Cortez, the boats are burned, there's no going back. When you have level 4 commitment, you have supreme and ultimate focus. The distractions that are coming for you, you're like, listen, no. You're an expert at no. I'm locked in. I'm doing this thing. That's level 4 commitment, right? We think about athletes. We think about Kobe Bryant. I love stories of hearing about Kobe Bryant's level 4 commitment. Some athletes would say, listen, they got to the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning and Kobe had already been there for 2 hours and he had worked up a sweat. They leave at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and Kobe would still stay another 2 or 3 hours, putting in extra work. That's level 4 commitment. Definite decision and devotion. Life changes for you at that point. Life changes. I want to share a quote with you from William Hutchinson Murray. And it simply says this. It says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. And here's that truth, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. Ooh, yeah, let me see if I can finish the rest of that. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from this decision, resulting in one's favor. All manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance. All of this happens when you create commitment. And then the last part of it says, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it, because boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Have you ever had a situation, a moment where you just in your mind and your heart uttered this, listen, I'm going to do this thing. And then from the moment that you say, I'm going to do it, I'm all in, things just start to seem to go your way? Has that ever happened to you? Right? Because at that moment, you're committed. You might think or feel like something is not possible. You might feel like something is not built to happen for you. You might feel like your environment is not set up in order to help you accomplish certain things. But the moment that you commit, the moment that you decide that, listen, I'm burning the boats, I'm not going back, I am all in on this thing. Oh my gosh, I see a friend of mine in the comments here. And he's a person that I've heard these words from as well. I've heard him say, dude, I'm all in. That's how I operate. I'm all in. Right? Duvet Weaver, what's up, my brother? And here's what happens. When you decide that you're all in, when you decide you're committed, then excuses are not a part of your vocabulary anymore. If you find yourself saying, yep, you know what? I messed up today. I'm gonna do it on Sunday. I'm going to do it next week. If you find yourself pushing things off into the future, then ask yourself the question, am I committed or am I just interested? So my question to you this week is, what are you committed to? I saw some commitments in the comments. What are you committed to? And then based on what we shared before, what's your level of commitment, right? Am I level 1 committed? Am I just repeating the action? Am I level 2 commitment? Am I stretching and pushing? Am I level 3? Do I act with desperation and push things out of the way in order to make this happen? Or am I level 4 where, listen, I'm devoted to this. There's nothing else that matters right now. What's your level of commitments? I want you to do some homework. We leave homework for you all every week. And I want you to write down, what are you willing to commit to? What are you willing to commit to? And then as you think about that or as you write that down, the second question is, who am I willing to partner with so that I can get to level 4 commitment on this? I love it. I see you, Tyran Jackson, saying, I'm at level 2, pushing towards level 3. Yeah, it's a journey. It's not a switch that you flip. It's a journey. We push towards that next level. We push towards that next level. I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Identifying, being aware of where we are. And I've got to admit, there's some places in my life where I'm at a level 1 commitment. There's some places in my life where I'm at a level 4. Like, listen, if I think about my relationship with my wife, yes, I'm bragging on my relationship. If I think about my relationship with my wife, I'm level 4. There's no other options. That doesn't mean that we have it perfect every day. That doesn't mean that we never have conflict. That doesn't mean that we never disagree. It simply means that I'm all in. There are no other options. That's at level 4 for my relationship, right? If I think about my health routine, my exercise routine, being transparent and honest, I'm still between level 2 and level 3. There are times where I give excuses and I gotta work. I'm pushing forward on that. Right? If I think about my business, if I think about my business, where am I? Where are you, Robert? Okay, yep, I'm stretching every day and I'm fighting for it. So I'm probably around 2.8, level 3 for my business. I can still like burn the boats in some areas of my business. Gotta work. But I've got to be aware and I've got to be honest and I've got to be transparent about that. And then once I can do those things, then I'm saying, okay, boom. What is the action that I need to complete? What do I need to do to get to that level 4? What do I need to do to ultimately be committed and offer absolutely no excuses? Hey, y'all, we went extra this morning. We went extra this morning. Oh, yes. We went some extra this morning. That's all for this week, though. Listen, y'all, to know when we're live, text LIVE, LIVE, to 240-557-8679, and I'll send you the link and the notification for when we're going live, all right? I want to end today with this, a quote from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow with an addendum. And his quote says, "We must choose between being an anvil or a hammer. We either mold the world or be molded by it." And here's my add-on. If you never commit, then you're being molded. But when you deeply commit, you can be the hammer and do the shaping. It's Monday, y'all. And we want to shift your mindset to a place of growth. But it doesn't just start and stop on Monday. I want to encourage you to take your Monday mindset into tomorrow and the next day and the next day, woo, and the next day. Be curious, make a choice, move, start a movement, be a movement. Join me next week, Monday, on the Monday Mindset Movement on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Yeah. Until then, be amazing, my friends. Come on. Join me on the Monday Mindset Movement. Yeah, I had to kind of go over that inappropriate end of the music. See you next time.